Pete from P&P Vintage Repair, and today I'd like to talk about performance in relation to valves, cams, and porting. You know, a lot of you guys right away, I see you post, you took your motor apart, and the first thing you do is take a die grinder and start porting away. Grinding those ports as big as you can. The only problem is when you open up the beginning of the port, you've done nothing at the end of the port. So the intake port could be a 1/4 inch bigger than what you started with, but if you haven't done bowl work, and the bowl is where the valve is, to let the flow come through, you've gained nothing, because that's the restriction. Number two, the next thing I see is when you guys go to put engines back together, you found a 400 lift cam, and you've put stock valves back in. The stock valves are the restrictor so many times. I'm going to show you the difference of a stock valve versus a Manley Proflow valve. I just happen to be doing a valve job on a Motor City Flathead, and I have these valves that just ground, and I'm going to compare it to a Manley valve. Okay, so here is a stock thinned out valve that's 185 thousandths thick at the valve face. Here's a Manley Proflow valve. It's 135 thousandths at the face. There's a 50 thousandths difference. Now, what does that mean? That means for this valve to flow the same as this valve, we have to lift the cam. We have to put 50 thousandths more lift in to get the valve out of the pocket. On the exhaust, the stock valve is 205 thousandths. The Manley valve is 135 thousandths. That's a 70 thousandths difference in thickness. So that means that we have to, again, lift this valve 70 thousandths higher to flow the same as this valve. The other thing is, if you look at the stem, you can see they thinned out the stem, whereas the stock valve is not thinned out at all. So the flow difference is huge. Now, before you go porting, this is what you have to change, the valves. And then the other thing is 400 lift cams are not always the answer. The higher the lift, the more stress you put on the valve springs and the valve train. Everybody talks about not needing zinc in the oil because we don't have that much valve tension, but when you go and lift a valve 500 thousandths, that valve tension is over 200 pounds. A normal good valve spring, like a Zephyr, at seat is anywhere from 90 to 110 pounds. When you open it, they're up around 200. So the higher you lift, the more strain you put on the cam. I just want you guys to understand that there's ways to gain horsepower without going crazy and without spending tons of money. But if you're gonna put valves in a motor, put valves in that are gonna work and gonna give you performance. You know, don't gamble and guess. And don't go right away starting to try to flow things by grinding the hell out of the ports, because you're not gonna gain. You don't have a flow bench, you think you're doing the right thing, but you could in reality be doing worse things by creating more turbulence in the ports. You're better off put a nice valve in that flows like the Manley Proflow. Put a cam in that's going to give you enough duration, that's going to hang the valve open long enough to give you a good charge in or get the exhaust out, and put the motor together and you'll be happy. These engines are not rocket science. Everybody makes a big deal about this and that. They are combustion engines. The theory that was behind them a million years ago is still the theory behind every engine today. So I hope this was a little help for you. If you have any questions, you can text me, and I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you.